I really wish I had an explanation for what happened, but I really don't. Maybe someone out there does or has gone through something like this as well. I'd like to believe so. Feel free to comment what you think, please. I was at a school dance with my best friend, L. We'll call him that anyway. And as we were leaving the gym where the dance was being held, we heard music coming from the upper floor. We weren't quite sure what type of music it was, but it was festive and lively. Quite loud, too, but sounded distant and muffled, like we were hearing it through glass. My friend and I followed the music. It slowly got louder as we walked up the stairs and approached the closet it was coming from. The door was cracked, and the lights were off. We could hear the music coming from inside. We honestly thought it was just the janitor's music, and we still do. This is where it all begins. Another one of our friends approached us as we stood outside the closet door. I stood behind with the other friend while L went to investigate. The closet was in the middle of the hallway and kind of stood out. Around it was an open area and a small section that led to nowhere. Just a singular door, closed and locked. As Elle went into the closet, the other friend and I watched. The light was turned on and the music had stopped. I watched this door the entire time. My eyes never wandered as I worried about what Elle was doing and never so long. It was about 5 minutes after the light was turned on and the music had stopped that I approached the closet, confused. The closet door was still barely open, just enough that Elle had entered. I opened the door more to reveal two white shelves and a large type of music box on the highest one. The music box was large and looked quite heavy and old. That wasn't what got me. It was on a high shelf, one above my head. I wouldn't have been able to reach it. Elle, who is shorter than I am, wouldn't have been able to either. Yet, somehow, the music was off. The closet was small, just barely big enough for around 3 people. Besides the two white shelves and the music box, the room was completely empty. Elle, who had never left the room, was gone. I went inside the room to look behind the door. Nothing. There was nothing to hide. I even called out to Elle in hopes of a response. Nothing. The room was dead silent. The other friend stood directly outside the door, waiting for me to come out. I came out and searched around the small enclosed corner to no avail. At this point, I was freaked out. Neither my friend nor I knew where Elle was. They had simply vanished. The next thing I recall was a fog entering my mind. I assumed my mind began to panic and my body ensued. I simply felt nothing. Yet I could see everything that was happening. My legs felt as if they were gone, simply air. Like someone was moving my body for me. It was a horrifying feeling. Cold and empty, non-existent. I was jogging back down the hallway. The other friend was laughing at my side, and I was too. I remember, I kept glancing behind me, hoping Elle would somehow be there. The hallway stayed empty, even as my body moved itself back down the stairs. When we left that floor, all my feelings suddenly came back, rushing like waves over my body. I could feel the air enter my lungs, my legs were weak, and my head was light, like I had been hit by a sudden force of air and everything was back. The music was playing once again. My other friend had returned to the dance, and I was alone. The music kept playing as I stood outside the gym, festive and lively, louder this time. I entered the gym and ignored it, hoping to find Elle in there. I didn't. Elle had found me. I don't know what happened to Elle in those moments when he had vanished, but to him, things went differently. He had entered the closet, looked around for a quick minute, and went back out. Elle kept the light off and just looked around and saw the music box as well. He heard us laughing, footsteps going back down the hallway, and saw us jogging away. Didn't see me glance back, didn't see me come in, didn't turn the light on or the music off, didn't leave the room. When he had found me again on the dance floor in the gym, he asked where I went. Why had I left him up there? But he stopped when he saw my state, questioning what exactly had happened. He told me I was completely pale and ashen, like I had seen a ghost or something of that sort. We both talked about what happened multiple times. I stick to my story, and he sticks to his. To be honest, I still don't know. This is probably one of the most vivid memories of a paranormal experience that I have. This happened around the time I was 8 or 9 when I was having a sleepover at a friend's. Her house was a two-story with a large game room right at the top of the stairs. We were sleeping on a long couch and our heads were on either side, so if I extended my leg, I'd touch her feet. It was around 3 or 4 a.m. when I woke up to her getting off the couch. She's about halfway down the stairs when I walk to the top of the stairs and ask her what she's up to. She says I'm getting us some snacks. Not unusual, as we like to get up and watch scary stuff and eat food when her mom went to bed. I turned on the TV and walked downstairs to the kitchen to help. She's not there. I call her name and check to see if she's in the bathroom. She's not. I thought maybe she went back upstairs and I didn't hear her footsteps. I decided to lay back down on the couch and wait for her, as I didn't see her on the couch, downstairs, or upstairs. I lay down on the couch, waiting, and I roll over to my side. My foot brushes something warm, and I extend my leg to see what it is. It's her foot. I sit up, confused as to when she had gotten there, and she was dead asleep. I asked her about it in the morning, and she ever so nonchalantly says, "Oh yeah, I don't know who she is, but she looks like me." Needless to say, that was my last sleepover at her house because it absolutely freaked me out. I have a much younger brother that I had to often look after while growing up. He's a pretty chill kid, so it wasn't too difficult. Mostly consisted of walking him home from school, microwaving him some food, making sure he finishes his homework, monitor what he watches on TV, and ensure he washes up. Normal big brother stuff. As with any kid, he had his favorite cartoons and I would watch them with him very often. Fairly Odd Parents, Pokemon, Adventure Time, etc. The one kind of weird thing is that my brother is kind of slow in his mental development and his memorization skills were not all there. He would try to sing along with the intro songs, but would consistently get sections of the lyrics incorrect, even though I'd correct him often and he'd be watching these same intros all the time. One day, I was walking him home from school and he started singing a song I've never heard before. I didn't think much of it and figured it was probably some song on the radio while our parents were driving him around or at school. He seemed really to enjoy the song and sang it so often that the lyrics were stuck in my head despite never having heard the real song before. A couple years later, I was finally old enough to get my driver's license and had my own car. I was driving to my friend's house one day and just listening to the radio. Finally ran across the song my brother kept singing, but now in the original band's voice. I heard the song so many times in my brother's voice over the years that I found myself singing along word for word to a song I've never heard before. What struck me as really odd is that my brother knew all of the lyrics word for word and nothing was incorrect, like when he sang along with his favorite TV shows. I thought of this positively that he was finally starting to get over his slight mental disabilities and improving himself. What happened next made the hair on my neck stand up. The song ended and the DJ comes in saying that this is the first single from the band's debut album. I was thinking there was no possible way. I heard my brother sing that song so many times. I finally arrived at my friend's house and told him the whole story. He had a much more logical response and said maybe they did a cover for an old song that already exists. That seemed to make the most sense to me too. So we googled the lyrics and I recited from memory. Nope, the lyrics exist only under that band and the song was released less than a week ago. It was a young group that was put together through a talent completion to write a song together a few months prior. So there is no way my brother could have known the lyrics. I was freaking out. My friend, always the logical one, started wondering if my brother made up the lyrics himself and uploaded them or something and the song was stolen from him. This kind of lightened my mood and we joked around that my family could sue this now popular band for stealing my brother's song. Curiosity got the best of me and I decided to drive home to talk to my brother about where he first heard the song. Coincidentally, I heard the song on the radio on my drive back and was able to unmistakably sing along with a song I've only heard once officially. I get home and ask my brother where he heard the song he used to sing all the time. He seemed a bit confused, so I sang some of the lyrics to jog his memory. He had no idea what I was talking about, and he's not one to lie, or he is not that mentally disabled to have extreme memory loss. I then asked my parents about it, and they claimed to have never heard the lyrics before in their lives. What the heck happened here?